brand new video shows fighter jets taking off from a UK battleship as they launched an attack against Houthi rebels in Yemen. The retaliatory strike was conducted by the US and British militaries with the help from a number of other allied countries. The Department of Defense saying they targeted 13 different locations connected to the Houthis, striking deeply buried weapons storage facilities, missile systems and launchers, air defense systems, and radars. The Houthis have been a thorn in the side of the international community, relentlessly targeting commercial ships in the Red Sea, forcing many shipping companies to reroute their vessels around Africa, causing major delays and extra costs. In a statement, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin writing, quote, "This collective action sends a clear message to the Houthis that they will continue to bear further consequences if they do not end their illegal attacks on international shipping and naval vessels." The attack on the Houthis came just one day after the U.S. launched an air assault against other Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria. All of this meant to be a retaliation for a deadly drone strike in Jordan last weekend that killed 3 U.S. service members. On Friday, President Biden was in Delaware with the families of those soldiers as their bodies were brought home.
When we could end up in a regional war, and we have to be ready for that possibility.
Malcolm Davis, a senior analyst for the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, saying on Saturday morning that these tit-for-tat strikes could lead to an escalation, even as leaders from both Iran and the U.S. have indicated that they do not want a regional war.
The Iranians are not going to give up. They don't want war necessarily, but they certainly are not prepared to just accept an American strike and say, that's it, our efforts are over.
Meanwhile, amid this escalation, the U.S.'s top diplomat, Antony Blinken, is making his 5th trip to the region. He'll be heading to Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Qatar, Israel, and the West Bank. He's expected to be focused on the conflict in Gaza, pushing for a diplomatic resolution that would free the Israeli hostages and grant a humanitarian pause to help the civilians in Gaza. This as the Hamas-run health ministry says over 26,000 people have died in Gaza since the war began. In Washington, I'm Evan Koslof, Spectrum News.